I've just passed my 80th birthday, and I'm hopefully looking forward to my 90th, and maybe 10 more. Behind me is a long period of public service, and almost 2 terms, 2 turbulent terms in the White House, during one of the most critical periods in the life of the nation. I'm having to budget my time very carefully in what time may yet be available to me to do the many things that still remain to be done. I have instructed my alternate, the Honorable Anthony Denny, Recorder of Deeds of St. Louis, Missouri, to this convention to give faithful support to the requests of President Johnson. I have authorized no one else to speak for me. Now there it is. There it is. That's the record. No, I don't. I think it's a good thing to put it in the campaign. Had no business getting in there in the first place, and if it hadn't been for that fool Republican who nominated in San Francisco, it wouldn't be there. He's trying to put foreign policy of the United States into the campaign, too. Of course, he can't do that. I've got an article that's coming out Sunday that'll settle that situation as far as I'm concerned. No, I won't be able to get there. I've just been talking to my alternate in St. Louis, and he's presenting me there. I can't go. I'm very sorry to say that I can't get there. Not because I don't want to be there, because I think I'd have better time than anybody there if I got there. But I've got a good alternate. He's the Recorder of Deeds in the city of St. Louis, and he's going there and carry out the program that I would if I were there. We just had a conversation on the subject. But I want to see this fellow nominated by the Democrats as governor of Missouri, and I think he will be. I'm for this man. That's all there is to it. He's on his own. He's got his own friends, and it's a good thing. That's what makes the country great. Anybody can run for any office he wants to if he's got guts enough to get out and do it.
I'm rolling. Talk anyway. Any comment, Mrs. Johnson?
Mrs. Lindbergh,
Lindbergh, turn around. Let's have the four of you here, please, for a real quick.
I certainly wouldn't say I'm a scholar, but I did major in it when I was in university. And naturally, I've lived in the midst of it. So I'm eager particularly to absorb everything I can from this day. And Lindbergh is also majoring in history. But what I'm looking forward to from today is a first-hand view of how this library came from a dream into a reality, so all the public can come and see the mementos of those days, and scholars as well.
Bunch of chords there, Joe.
On this day, the 14th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War, it is my honor and the privilege to present on behalf of President Chung-hee Park the Order of Merit for National Foundation to one of the greatest American presidents and an outstanding leader of the free world.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Ambassador, I sincerely hope you will express my appreciation and to the President of the Great Republic of Korea and say to him that it's the first citation of the kind that this old man's ever had, and he's greatly appreciative of it. Now then, salute me, you better.
You were rather a prominent figure in the Korean War yourself, Ambassador Kim. I understand you were Chief of Staff of the Air Force. Is that correct?
That's correct.
How did you view the war, sir?
Which war?
Korean War.
Well, I recall 14 years ago, before President Truman made a great decision. We are very dark. We had a dark day, but help of the great nation, the United States, and also 15 other nations came us and helped us. That's why we could survive.
Benny, we know about you in the field of comedy and in the field of music, of course. We didn't know that you had any relationship, however tenuous, with agriculture. Can you explain that?
I didn't know it myself until President Truman called me and said, I want you to come down here and make a speech. I said, what about? He says, agriculture. I said, well, I don't know anything about agriculture. Oh, well, he says, you can talk about anything. Now, I like President Truman so much, and we've been friends for so many years, and probably the closest friend that I have in the political field, anyway, that I would come down if I had to speak in French, I believe, or Spanish. That's how I feel.
Mr. Truman, Mr. President, you have a friend here who is, of course, 31 years junior. As of last week, he's 31, you're 80, he's 39.
He doesn't look it.
Did you give him any tips? Now, you being a farm boy, did you give him any tips on what to say tonight?
He doesn't need any tips. He knows more about it than I do. I was raised on the farm. Although I took the president's advice, I walked from Los Angeles here.
Give it more force this time. It's a great occasion, and let's go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. There's only one thing I want to do. I want to live to be 90, and I made a statement one time publicly when everybody was talking to me about the situation, that they were asking me if I was going to run for president again. I said, yes, when I'm 90 years old. But you know, if some damn fool found out that's an off year and I can't even do it then. So, tell you, to have this sort of a program for a man who's old enough to know better, 80 years old next week. It'll be the 8th day of May. I'll be 80. And so, you know, I'm one of these damn sentimentalists, and this thing with a sentimentalist is one that hits you where you live. And it's a great thing. One of the finest things that's ever happened to me, of course. And there's only one thing that I could get along with better, and that is if you people would attack me instead of talking nice about me, I'd know what to do.
And let us congratulate you on your 80th birthday. I understand you are going to be 80 years old on May the 8th.
That's right.
Congratulations. And,
Too old for anybody.
oh, no, you look so young and so strong and so hale.
Well, you're
Congratulations indeed.
very kind indeed.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to have you here, and I hope you'll take a look at this institution if you haven't already seen it, and understand that the objective is to give the youngsters of this country some idea of what they have in the way of a government and what they have to do to keep it.
During the wartime, and I certainly appreciate with the other of my friends.
Well,
You must have-
I appreciate that much,
Well,
Tommy.
and
And the objective
yes,
that you're interested in was to end a war in such a way that there would not be 500,000 people killed on each side and that many injured from then on. And that's all there was to it. You know, when you're running a war,
yes,
the objective is to win it.
yes. And you did win.
Well, it was necessary, and I think we've shown you that there's no objective feeling against the people against whom we were fighting. We're the only country in the history of the world who, after the war was over, helped to revive the countries which had been our enemies. And they weren't our enemies. They just thought they were.
Dr. Matsumoto, would you describe for us the aims of the World Peace Mission?
We call ourselves World Peace Study Mission. We are here as a study mission, which means that we are here to study together with you and other peoples of the world as to the means and ways of creating, if possible, a new world of peace in which we can live together trustingly and trustfully and peace.
You were in Hiroshima in 1945 when that bomb fell. Can you describe to us exactly what happened as far as your eyewitness account of it is concerned?
I was on the point of entering my office room of the school when the entire school building came crashing down upon me. But they protected me from the direct radiation. That saved my life, I believe. But after about an hour's struggle, I came out like a ghost out of hell. And I was utterly amazed to see the entire city so flat and flames of fire and flames, smoke rising up on all sides of the city. I could not make out what was the matter.
You were apparently not injured in the initial blast, but did you become ill later?
Yes. After 2 months of frantic search for our girl students trying to help them, I myself collapsed. And when I was taken to the hospital, the doctors discovered that I had only 1/3 of the white corpuscles of blood of an average person.
How many students were killed?
352 of them, and 18 of our teachers, and also my own wife.
Are there still Japanese who are becoming ill and who are dying some 20 years later as a result of the bomb?
Quite a number. At the present moment, there are estimated to be about 240,000 sufferers, of whom averagely 40 people are dying every year out of the bad effects of radiation in their bodies.
Does the present generation of Japanese people hold any ill will against the United States?
Not any longer. Well, they realize that they have been foolish and guilty themselves to have ever challenged such a great nation like America, and they are thoroughly repentant about that.
What was your conversation with Mr. Truman?
It was a very interesting conversation with him. He was so gracious and cordial, and he thought that he had to do that, but he wouldn't care to repeat that sort of thing any longer. He hoped that the world will become such as not to need anything of that sort.
All saw what happened. In 1948, the farmers voted for the man who believed in them. They surprised a lot of people, but they didn't surprise Mr. Truman. Republicans and Democrats alike all voted for him. And those who waited for the farm vote never got over it. And that's a lesson for us, too. If you believe in the farmer, he'll believe in you. It isn't very complex. It's very concrete and practical, like President Truman.
No, I'm very happy to have wound up a checkered career with the approval of the people who made one great contribution to the continuation of that career. I hope that you have not regretted it, and that evidently you have not, and I'm inclined to believe everything that's been said here, including my... As you know, I get quite a lot of mail. Some of the letters I get are scorchers. But I don't mind those. In fact, I like to read them and see what stirs up some people in the way they do to tell me off. Now, I have a wonderful staff, and they've always been very careful if they could keep me from seeing the letters. Well, I get there early and pick out the crackpot letters and read them.
Will you remain standing?
remember coming back from Moscow, I thought that it was necessary for me to tell President Truman what was going on in the Soviet Union and to warn him of the difficulties we were going to have. That wasn't popular at that time. Everybody realizes it now. So I came back and got there 3 days, I think, after President Roosevelt died. And I went to see him thinking that I was going to have a very long talk to explain all of these problems that we were going to face. But I then learned that he knew all about it, because I then found out that he read all the papers that were available. He'd read all the telegrams, he'd read all of the records of Yalta, and he knew what the score was. And so I had a very short interview with him, and all of my other talks with him were very brief because he had done his homework, and my only embarrassment was I didn't know my own business as well as he did.
So I'm sure that you will understand. I'm proud to join with my fellow farmers and ranchers to pay tribute to the President who stood up for the farmers when they needed him. You set a standard for agriculture that I intend to carry on. For the farmer and the rancher today deserves all the support and backing we can give him. Our family farm agriculture is a source of strength and inspiration to this country and to millions of people all over the world. I intend to keep it that way, as I know you would want it that way. I will see you soon here in Washington. Until then, accept the best wishes from your loyal and devoted friend, sincerely, Lyndon B. Johnson. President?
President, I'm sure it's from the bottom of our hearts, too, when we say happy birthday to you. And I hope 10 years from now we'll have another celebration of this sort. Now,